Hey, Warpugs. So Silent wanted me to check out this in particular from the operations room. This is the SAS Iranian Embassy Siege of 1980. Now, how much do I know about this? In passing, I know about this. In passing, I know about this. So, a lot of information on this is going to be very, very new to me. Now, my hand hurts a little bit, and the reason it does is because, like, I'm a little bit dirty, and that's because I was helping somebody, and I'm going to regret it in a little while. I was helping somebody put together something interesting.
Something for the ducks.
Something for the ducks. And we had some recycled fencing that I picked up over the weekend.
My hands were not strong enough to cut the wire with the wire cutter.
So mine did, and I am going to be hating life for a little bit now. My hand feels like it's been doused in a bucket of water, and I'm down here holding it like this so it doesn't clench. Fun times for me. Fun times. Warpugs, sometimes things don't go quite the way you want them to. But she's going to be getting a couple other things ready. We're going to be putting together her first I'd say full length, about 10 minutes long.
Video? Yeah, my first longer video.
Yeah, and
doing something for the homestead.
Yeah, she's looking forward to that, and we're going to be sitting here putting that together, and that'll be entertaining. And
that should be out, I believe, tomorrow.
You're high? Who are you getting to do the editing?
I was going to do the editing. I thought you were going to walk me through it. He's got to teach me. I don't know if he's yet. I'm a newbie.
Help me, Warpugs. Send help. Send help.
Okay, it will be out sometime this week.
Do you mind? Huh?
Subscribe to my channel too. Link in the description.
No, it's not. Anyhow. Just endless. Ah, God. So, Warpugs, I know about this in mostly passing. So this is going to be very, very informative to me. Guys, if you like stuff like this, please go to the Discord, request more of it. I'm a big fan of learning more about military operations. The Operations Room series on Desert Storm was massively informative. Even though I know a good bit about Desert Storm, there was a lot of things that I simply didn't know up until checking that out. So it's a great thing to check out. It's an amazing thing to check out. And now here we are, SAS Embassy Siege in 1980. Warpugs, like and subscribe. Let's get into it. Now I love this intro, I swear to God. Very nice.
It's 11:30 a.m. on April the 30th, 1980. A car pulls up next to the Iranian embassy at 16 Prince's Gate in South Kensington in London. 6 men armed with submachine guns and automatic pistols quickly exit the car, run across the street, and burst through the embassy's front doors, shouting and firing wildly into the air. The diplomatic constable, PC Trevor Locke, is swiftly detained by the attackers, who then round up 26 hostages from the embassy staff and visitors. However, Locke presses the panic button on his radio before he is overwhelmed, alerting Scotland Yard to this developing crisis in the heart of London. The 6 men come from the oil-rich Iranian region of Khuzestan, an area long repressed by the Shah of Iran. A year earlier in 1979, the Iranian Revolution toppled the Shah and brought Ayatollah Khomeini to power.
And he was such a great guy.
Khazastanis supported the revolution in the hope that Khomeini will grant them greater autonomy. However, Khomeini proves just as brutal in his management of the region, sparking a rebellion which is aggressively crushed. Hundreds of Khazestanis are killed or imprisoned, but the crackdown inspires a group calling themselves the Democratic Revolutionary Front for the Liberation of Arabistan to carry out militant action against the Iranian regime. The front plans to give the Ayatollah a taste of his own medicine. They find a partner in Iraqi President Saddam Hussein, who is eager to annex Kazakhstan into his own country.
Because
the
of course he
6 men
was.
in 16 Prince's Gate have been trained and armed by the Iraqi government, who smuggle their weapons into London in the Iraqi diplomatic bag. the militants plan to use their hostages to force the Iranian government to release Kazakhstani prisoners. Their leader, Awan Ali Mohammed, promises the hostages will all die if their demands are not met. At the embassy, London Metropolitan Police are on the scene within minutes, and the outside of the building is secured. At the same time, members of the elite Special Air Service are finishing a training exercise in the famous Killing House at their headquarters in Herefordshire when their alert beepers go off. Confused.
I will say this about the SAS. If you're looking for... A lot of people think that the SEALs are the bee's knees for the end all for special forces. The SAS is well up there, and in some ways surpasses the SEALs' capability, which is a real statement for somebody to make. But yeah.
The soldiers wonder if it's a mistake until they receive a simple message from SAS Director Peter de Billier in London. This is the real thing. Pack your gear.
Let's go.
22 Regiment SAS is dispatched to London under the command of Lieutenant Colonel Michael Rose. While the SAS team is on its way, Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher and Home Secretary Willie Whitelaw agree on a strategy. The police will handle negotiations, but if a hostage is killed, then the SAS will storm the building. Negotiations begin between the police and Awan, who makes his demands known while the SAS prepares for a military assault. The next 4 days are tense. As the negotiations drag on, the SAS, along with MI5, have been carefully surveying the building. To cover the sound of MI5 specialists implanting listening devices in the walls, the British government reroutes passenger flights bound for Heathrow to fly low over the embassy.
Very nice.
From May 1st to May 4th, Awan releases 4 hostages, 2 who had fallen ill, and 2 others after the BBC agrees to publicise his demands. The release of each hostage brings hope that the crisis will be resolved peacefully. However, on May the 5th, the 6th day, Awan is becoming increasingly irritable at the lack of progress and has run out of patience. A telegram is delivered to the hostages from the Iranian Foreign Minister, who praises them but ominously writes, "We feel certain that you are all ready for martyrdom alongside your nation." At 1:45 p.m, a series of shots are heard from within the embassy, and 5 hours later, a body is dumped outside the door, along with a threat that the militants will kill the rest of the hostages within 30 minutes if their demands are not met. Thatcher and her cabinet understand there's no going back now, and operational control is handed over to the SAS, with Lieutenant Colonel Rose in local command. Rose's plan is codenamed Operation Nimrod.
Yeah, Nimrod is pretty appropriate for these guys.
2 teams will assault the embassy at the same time. Red Team will storm the 2nd, 3rd and 4th floors from the roof, while Blue Team will clear the basement, ground and 1st floor from the embassy garden. Both teams must breach at the exact same time to ensure surprise and give the hostages the best chance of survival. Even so, the British government is told by SAS Director de la Billier that the best case scenario is that 40% of the hostages will become casualties.
Right.
New cameras trained on the embassy catch the SAS teams moving into position and snipers setting up on nearby rooftops. With the UK on a bank holiday, the entire nation is about to watch the rescue operation take place live on their televisions. At 7:23 p.m, the code word Hyde Park signals Red Team to hitch up while Blue Team moves to breach the back door. 2 minutes later, London Bridge is radioed to the SAS men, and Operation Nimrod begins. A diversionary explosion blows in the 2nd floor skylight, which is also intended to coincide with Red and Blue Team breaching the building.
Nice.
However, Warrant Officer Thomas Goodyear becomes stuck on his abseiling rope, and Red Team cannot breach the windows using explosives, for fear of wounding him. They instead smash the windows and toss stun grenades as snipers fire CS gas into the building. Director de la Billier immediately senses the start of the operation has gone wrong because the teams have failed to synchronise their breaches. The stun grenades ignite the window curtains, and the flames set Sergeant Tommy Palmer's gas mask on fire as he enters the building. Despite the CS gas, Palmer tears off his gas mask and leads his 4-man team into the building while slapping at his singed hair. He spots a militant on the other side of the room dousing the carpet with kerosene and points his MP5 submachine gun at him, only for it to jam as he squeezes the trigger.
That sucks.
The militant sprints into the hallway with a hand grenade and heads for the telex room, where most of the male hostages are being kept. Running after him into the hallway, Palmer calmly pulls his sidearm and drops the man with a single shot to the head before he can kill any hostages. Upon realizing they are being attacked, the 3 militants guarding the telex room begin indiscriminately shooting the male hostages, killing one and wounding 2 others. Hearing the shooting, Palmer leads his team to the telex room. They burst through the door where the militants quickly try to hide among the hostages. One of them rises to throw a grenade, but is shot by an SAS operator. Another is lying on the ground, but is discovered and shot when he also attempts to detonate a grenade. Palmer and the SAS team begin evacuating the hostages out of the telex room, not knowing that one of the militants is hidden among them.
He's so brave and courageous.
Meanwhile, half of Blue Team emerges onto the first floor balcony and detonates a frame charge, blowing in the reinforced windows before tossing in stun grenades. One of the hostages, BBC employee Sim Harris, is in the room but unharmed. Blue Team moves to the next room where PC Locke is fighting for his life. The police officer had tackled the militant's leader Awan when the assault began, and is attempting to draw the revolver he has carefully concealed since the beginning of the siege.
Oh, dude.
However, Awan has gained the upper hand and is about to shoot Locke when an SAS soldier shoves the militant leader and another kills him with a burst from his MP5. Both Harris and Locke are safely evacuated. The other half of Blue Team breaches through the rear doors on the ground floor, led by Staff Sergeant Peter Winner. The ground floor is clear, and Winner leads the team to the cellar. After tossing stun grenades, Winner spots a crouching figure in the corner of the darkened room, and empties his entire magazine into it. He finds out later that he has just shot up a dustbin. 1 floor above, the female hostage
That's a little bit of... Sometimes you just gotta be sure.
hostages are found unharmed in the cipher room by Red Team. They join the rest of the hostages being evacuated down the main staircase. Staff Sergeant Winner is shepherding the hostages down the stairs when he notices the hidden militant among them with a grenade in his hand. Just before the militant can pull the pin, Winner instinctively bashes the man with his MP5, sending him crashing down the stairs where 2 SAS soldiers unload into him. The hostages are evacuated to the back garden, where they are bound with plastic cuffs to await identification.
Right.
One militant is still at large, before Sim Harris recognises him on the ground, and he is taken into custody. Operation Nimrod is over after 17 minutes. The crime scene is returned to the police, and the SAS teams disappear back to their makeshift headquarters, where, during their debriefing, the men are visited by an unexpected guest. Prime Minister Thatcher walks into the room and announces, "Gentlemen, there is nothing sweeter than success, and you boys have got it." Amid loud cheering, the men are served ice-cold beer. The rescue
Nice.
operation is a success. Of the original 26 hostages, all but 1 is saved, and 5 of the 6 militants have been killed.
Very
The SAS has long been an organisation that is content with operating in the shadows, but now the bravery and professionalism of its servicemen is on full display for the world to see. Millions of Britons have witnessed their extraordinary work in real time, and over the next few years, the SAS will be swamped by applicants wanting to join their ranks.
A clip just snapped off on my desk just there. I swear I'm not being invaded.
I was wondering, Lord.
Guys, the SAS is, without a doubt, one of the most elite forces that you could possibly wind up being in. And yes, I do compare them to the SEALs. I do compare them to Delta. I do compare them to other special operators because they are that good. Guys, the SAS, I didn't know that this was the first time people ever saw special operators actually doing what they do. It is kind of weird that they actually televised it. It is kind of weird to me they actually displayed that. But at the same time, it is kind of cool. I just gotta say it because, honey, why were you late today? I was invading Iranian's embassy. Like, I don't know. I'm an idiot. Don't worry about me, Warpugs. Shut up. Why do you see? This is what I deal with day to day. Just dagger in. No mercy. War pugs. A hospitaler. You gotta love her. Guys, this right here is a prime example of why it's so important for, you know, people who are in special operations to exist. 26 hostages, expected 40% casualties, only lost one. That is something to be just amazed by. Just amazed by, because you don't normally see results like that. They really did what they had. They really did the work. War pugs, I'm gonna take off from here. For more videos like this, check out the operations. You will be very, very happy that you did. As far as I go, subscribe to me for more stuff like this. People recommend things down in the Discord. Get yourself a shirt and join as a member of Patreon for early access. I'm being distracted heavily right now because somebody's all excited about her little duck hut.
Hey, you just gave away what it was.
You said what it was!
I said it was for the ducks. I didn't say what it was.
I'll catch you guys next time.